Good morning, and thank you for tuning into the Andrew Tate Show, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We've got a great show for you guys today. We're going to be covering ESPN joining the ACC in the lawsuit against Florida State. We'll also be talking about Cam Newton getting into a brawl at Atlanta 7-7 football game. Then we'll be talking about a husband who boarded a flight and departed without his wife after she insisted on getting a Starbucks. And then, as always, at the end of the show, we'll be diving into our oddities of the day. Before we start, I'd like to ask that you guys like and follow the show. We get a number of questions from the viewers that come in during the show, so to ensure that your question gets read on the air, I ask that you use the tips and donation link with your question. The tips and donation link is streamelements.com/GSMC Network Let's put your question at the top of the list so that I can see it, and it also just really helps the show. Hello, Tate. How are you?
Happy day after Monday.
Happy day after Monday. Yeah, I told Tate before we started the show, I was like, today really feels like Monday. It does not feel like Tuesday to me.
Yes. So happy day after Monday.
Happy day after Monday.
You know, so it's one of those things, no computer issues. I have backup camera, everything.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm gonna knock on some wood right here.
Girl, also, you started talking about that third segment, and I'm like, I kind of want to talk about that right away. And see, I'm going to tell you right out the gate, this is the stuff behind the scenes. I definitely want to hear your side on what you're going to say on that one too. You got to bring it for sure on that one. So. And then it's an interesting day today on some of the topics. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens.
Yeah. I do have, before we start, I want to announce that I am doing really well right now with a plant that I got a couple weeks ago. It has sprouted and she's doing great. I'm normally someone that kills plants. I've never been able to keep a plant alive, but this one, I'm like, it's going to happen. I'm going to have a plant. I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to do a good job. So right now, we're on like week 3 of the plant, and she's doing great.
Okay. So what kind of plant is this?
So it's a basil plant, but what's so funny about it is it's like a starter plant. Like, it's in a little tiny... little tiny pot, and it came with a kit and instructions on how to take care of it. So, and I got a little plant light for it because my place doesn't get a lot of sunlight. So I have a little plant light that turns on and off in 8-hour increments. So, and I'm watering it when it needs to be watered. I check it every day.
See, I'm thinking about you doing this, and then I'm thinking about when I was in college. And I used to have these Venus flytraps because, guys think that stuff is kind of funny and cool, I had these things forever. They were awesome. And people would they wouldn't just feed it like other insects. They'd feed it like pizza, everything like that.
The fact that it stayed alive after feeding it pizza is crazy.
It totally stayed alive until one mistake. Someone gave it a piece of bologna and it killed the whole thing. I was like, oh no, maybe I should not be. If this thing can eat pizza and hot dogs, but it can't survive a slice of bologna, I'm like, oh no. So yes, that's what killed my Venus flytraps in college. Don't know why that's an important part of this one, but this is caring is called sharing.
Oh gosh, yeah. That's cool though that you had Venus flytraps. I forget that you can just have those.
Oh yes. Oh no, I had Venus. My college dorm room, I lived in a fraternity house, so I didn't live. Does that surprise you? I lived in a fraternity house.
I mean, Yes and no. I mean, I wouldn't take you for a guy that would have been in fraternity, but I was also in a sorority, and a lot of people
Okay.
don't think that take me for a Greek life girl. So, I mean,
So I lived in a fraternity house, and I was not one of those guys that had like, Budweiser poster here and this. No, I wanted like a nice
you had to
laid
keep it
out place.
classy.
So much so that people like my room was so like I made it into like a living room,
Hmm.
and people would try to rent my room out for their dates. I was like, give me a 20 spot. It's yours for the next few hours.
I don't know if I would be okay with that.
See,
They'd have to
I,
sign a contract of what they can
I
and cannot do in
speak
my room.
I speak faith ease. Soon you said that I knew that little sentence told me so much. I knew everything that you
We'd have
thought
to
about in that quick second.
we'd have to form up a contract of what you can and can't do in the bedroom.
That's a whole nother.
Okay.
This is why, like, if we ever bring the whole membership thing back at GSMC, these are the conversations that during the membership. All right, Faith. So what were you saying? What's going in this clause? Okay,
All right.
and speaking of that, one more thing.
Mm.
Yesterday, I forget what we were talking about. Oh, it was the woman and the AI boyfriend
Hmm.
and certain parts of you. And just the look you gave, I knew everything you thought about it. It was like that. I had read Faith, and it was like, oh no.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's move on.
Moving on. Alrighty, so we've got some more stuff to add to this lawsuit with the ACC and Florida State. The gift that just keeps on giving.
College football, right?
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So the ESPN joins the ACC in a lawsuit against Florida State, references potential felony in disclosing trade secrets. Florida State has another opponent in its legal battle with the ACC, which is ESPN. The network is implying the school and its lawmakers might have committed a felony in its attempt to leave the Atlantic Coast Conference. The broadcasting giant owned by Disney submitted a filing in North Carolina court in support of the conference's lawsuit against the FSU's Board of Trustees, who are trying to exit the ACC's grant of rights media deal. In the Thursday filing, ESPN said the deal contains textbook trade secrets and that publicly disclosing the terms of the media deal would be destabilizing and harmful. ESPN comes out guns blazing in the February 22nd filing, calling itself the worldwide leader in sports, in the opening sentence and claiming the details of the argument between the network and the ACC should remain sealed. FSU has argued that the figures should be released as it tries to break off the deal set to expire in 2036.
Okay.
Whew.
So the first off, you're right. College football, this whole thing is just it's this
Reality
messy
TV
soap
show.
opera.
Yeah.
It's like WWE and All My Children's The Guiding Light, all the soap operas, and there's multiple plot lines, whether it's name, image, and likeness, Florida State, the Pac-12, the college football playoffs. It's like, man, it is nuts.
It is
Now,
nuts.
the first thing I thought of when I saw this, it was like, uh-oh, Florida State messed up.
Yeah.
And here is the reason why Florida State has messed up. Because you've kind of upset Daddy Warbucks. You
That's
know,
an interesting way to put it.
you can't be. Listen, if you got that uncle that really likes you, Faith, and we're not talking the creepy uncle now.
Oh, okay. I was like,
we're talking about that uncle. No, uncle, come sit on my lap. No, 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 no. We're talking. We're talking that uncle that he cares about you. He's helping sending you money for books and college tuition and
I've had
things
both.
of that nature. See, that's oh damn. That took me a second to process. Oh Jesus. This is going to the membership section.
Anyway, moving on.
Okay, conversation. We having this conversation after hours. Okay. So, wow, you just threw me for a loop on that one. Anyway, that uncle, the reason I call it Daddy Warbucks is, why is Florida State doing this? Because they want to get out of the ACC to go to a conference that pays a lot more money.
Right.
Well, there's only two. It's either the Big Ten, which is NBC and CBS. No, it's Fox, or it's the SEC, which is ESPN. ESPN is the one that's paying all that money to the SEC. Well, guess what? By upsetting one of your suitors, it cuts you back. Maybe the SEC may not end up being a viable partner for them. Maybe even if they break the granted rights and they're able to go, maybe ESPN is like, no, listen, we were under contract. You caused all this problems. You gave out, you put our contracts out there for everyone to see, which we didn't want. We don't want you as a partner. And that would eliminate the SEC as an option. SEC, whom ESPN pays like 60 to $80 million a year, depending on where it's at in the contract of things. Or Florida State, the school that causes all these problems. Which one is and Florida doesn't really want them there. They have a problem with ESPN. Which one do you think the SEC is going to go with? Hey, let's bring in this troublemaker. Come on down. Or no. You have to be careful how you leave a situation. And the fact that this is very serious because of the fact that they didn't just say, hey, kind of like cease and desist. Hey, calm down a little bit. No, they went in and said they joined the lawsuit, legal action against Florida State. Not only that, they're making what Florida State has done is criminal.
Right.
It's more than illegal. They're saying it's criminal what they have done. This is more than just, hey, we're not happy with you. You understand where I'm coming from with this one?
Yeah.
That makes it a lot tougher. And it also makes it where if this whole name, image, and likeness thing, you mix up this whole granted rights issue, well, the two places that can really let them out of it, the ACC and the Big Ten have Florida State's media rights. Well, those are the two that hold all the cards, and they're both suing you. This makes it even less likely that anyone is going to be willing to compromise with them. Either I feel like it is getting to the point where it's all or nothing for Florida State. Either they win this or nothing. I don't see, with ESPN getting the ACC's back and then joining into the lawsuit, I don't see how, if they don't win outright, how do you get out of this granted right? ESPN and Disney's not going to be like, you know what? I know you owe us. It's going to be $500 million plus $150 $30 to $180 million to break the contract. So right about $700 million, but we're going to give you a discount. Maybe, before I thought the path for them to get out of this contract was to fight it and then work on a settlement with ESPN saying like, hey, you let us out of the contract, we'll pay the exit fee, maybe plus a little extra, but we'll sign with the SEC so that you still have our rights. Everyone wins. I always thought that was their ultimate goal. But now with ESPN coming out and suing Florida State and joining in with the ACC, I feel like this is a game changer. I think it's kind of like the NCAA picking on Tennessee. They started a fight. I don't think they can win. And I think Florida State has started a battle that I don't know if they can win on this one. The only way, the one saving grace for Florida State with this, there's two. One, if they can get a Florida judge to be the one that rules on this and get that part settled, and he just says flat out, this was done wrong, and we throw it out. That would be the best option for them. Option two is that they need to get a dance partner. And what I mean by that is they're the one making the noise, but everyone knows that Clemson, Florida State, Virginia, North Carolina are just waiting in the weeds to see if there's a crack, we're diving in there too. Well, with ESPN suing Florida State, either they're going to have to get some partners that are going to be a lot more vocal, or does it make those guys that are thinking about leaving say, you know what, we want to be even further away from Florida State, because we don't want to bite the hand that feeds us as well. So Clemson and Miami and all those guys are like, you know what, Florida State's way over here, we're here. We would like to leave the ACC, but not Florida State's way, where they're burning down the kitchen on the way out. Because I feel like that's what they're doing. They're burning bridges that they may need to cross again. And I think that Florida State is really hurting themselves. It's going to be hard for them to get out of this contract. It's going to be hard for them to get out of the contract, especially now that ESPN has come out so strongly against them. Where I think with this whole college football playoffs, they could have made an adjustment where I think the smart move was like, we're gonna stay in the ACC. Maybe we bring in Washington State and Oregon State to strengthen up and give us more numbers so that we can get a bigger chunk of the college football playoffs, kind of that route. Because if they're going the private equity route, where they're going to borrow $700 million to get out of this contract, what is that? Yes, it gets you out of the contract, but you still have to pay a mountain of money to get out. And now you may only have one partner, and that's the Big Ten, because the SEC is strongly in the ESPN court. That they're part of that ESPN camp. ESPN's number one college football partner is the SEC, and Florida State has upset them. So I think it's foolish. It's when keeping it real goes wrong. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely, when I saw this, that ESPN was joining the ACC in the lawsuit, I was like, oh, it's over for Florida State, man. It's over for them. Honestly, with ESPN joining the ACC in this lawsuit, I don't see how Florida State is going to be able to get anything out of this at all. And I think Florida State should just quit while they're ahead.
I don't see. this is one of those things where a lot of people disagree with that. I feel like you don't have to destroy the ACC.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I could see coming together. You guys have been together for a long time, working together to come to ESPN and try to renegotiate.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's a pretty sweet deal for ESPN at $36 million a year, 30-something million a year, where they're paying 80, to the SEC. But man, I just think this was not thought through, and losing one of the possibly, I'm not going to say they have lost it, because there's a lot of strange bedfellows in the world out there.
Mm-hmm.
But what's their play? If the Big Ten comes out and says, you know what, we've expanded enough. We have 18 teams in the Big Ten. We don't want Florida State. Or what if they say, you know what, they're too messy. We want Miami and North Carolina. See you later. Let's say they break up the Big Ten and the SEC doesn't want Florida State. Florida State, be careful what you wish for. You might get it in a situation where what happens, they break it up and the SEC says no to Florida State and the Big Ten says it. And now they have to either go as an independent or join the Big 12 or something crazy like that. Be careful what you're asking for.
Yeah.
And I hope they're smart enough to have checked behind the scenes, like, hey, Big Ten, are you interested in us? Hey, SEC, are you okay with us? Because if they have not done their due diligence behind the scenes,
nobody's going to want them now.
Especially if you're, an SEC team who's in bed with ESPN. This could be bad.
Yeah, I agree. Whew. I honestly look forward to when new stuff comes out about this, because I feel like I'm watching, like The Bachelor or something like that.
Is it not every other day?
It really is, yeah.
It has just become like this whole crazy concept where every other day you can just it's a slow news day, Faith. Let's see, are we gonna do a story on the NBA, the NFL? Oh, there you go. Florida State just got sued by ESPN. Throw it in there, no problem. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about Cam Newton being involved in a brawl at Atlanta 7-7 football game. So stay tuned.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were talking about ESPN joining the ACC in the lawsuit against Florida State, and now we're going to be diving into Cam Newton involved in a brawl at Atlanta 7 versus 7. But before we do that, I just want to remind you guys to like and follow the show. We get a number of questions that come in from the viewers that Nope, sorry, that's not right. We get a number of questions from viewers that come in during the show, so to ensure that your question gets read on the air, I ask that you use the tips and donation link with your question. That link is streamelements.com/GSMC Sports Network /tip. Let's put your question at the top of the list so that I can see it, and it also really helps the show. You have messed me up because every time that I go through it really well, you're like, wow, you just zip on right through that. And now, and now I'm not.
Oh, it's the day after Monday. Everyone knows you're not throwing your game after the day after Monday. And then you roll right into hump day. There's only one good day in a week.
Friday. Friday's the only good day of the week.
That's what we need to start doing. Just work one day a week. Just give me like 24 hours.
Heck yeah, that sounds great.
Changing the subject slightly on that one.
Yeah.
I met a guy, this is when I was in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. And his job required him to, I think it was a month. Each month he had to work, I think it was 40, 80, like 90 hours a month.
Oh, a month.
Okay.
I thought you were
yeah, that's one. You work 40 hour, 40 hour, 40 hour, 40
yeah.
hour. It's like 90, 100 hours. So whatever the number was, but it worked out to a normal month. Mm-hmm. But they didn't care how you did it, as long as you did it. Mm-hmm. And this dude had the best and worst life on the planet. Because this dude,
I would be procrastinating my work like
oh no,
business.
he went gangster on it. He was putting in like 20 hour a day, 20 hour a day, 20 hour. He would knock out. He would just go like a week.
Oh, just doing everything.
20 hour, 24 hour days. Sometimes he wouldn't even come home. He'd just stay there. But then he's done for the month.
Yeah. You get to hibernate. That would be nice.
You can hibernate. But think about it. You work like a madman for a week, for 7 straight days, and you got 21 off. 21 to 23 hours, 23 days off.
Tate, I go to college. Believe me, I know. Some days I be pulling 20-hour work days in a week and then have an entire break off after that. I get it. I don't get paid.
See, that's
to do
my
that,
life. I'm a 14, 16 hour a day, everyday guy anyway nowadays. Mm-hmm. So, but think about that. If you could do that, but then the rest of the month is off, then you do it again. And he was going trips. It'd be like, where's Billy at? Oh, he's in Tangier somewhere, because you have all this time off. It was a tech company. And so
that's nice. That is nice.
Didn't mean I just went on that whole little tangent there when we could be talking about Cam Newton.
Oh my gosh. So Cam Newton was involved in a brawl at Atlanta 7 versus 7 football game, and it was caught on camera. Former NFL star Cam Newton was caught on tape fending off a group of men during a 7 versus 7 all-star event in Atlanta over the weekend. A video circulating the internet shows the former Carolina Panthers and New England Patriots quarterback holding his ground at the Best Academy in Atlanta on Sunday. His 7v7 team, C1N, was there playing in a football league that enters tournaments all around the U.S. In the video, Newton was briefly seen standing under a pop-up tent before someone shoved him into a fence. Several other people jumped in, Some to throw punches, others to break up the fight. It's not clear what led to the altercation. Did you see this video?
Oh yes, I was I was upset about this one.
My gosh.
But not at Cam.
Yeah, no.
I am sick of this though. Cam has a unique way of dressing. He has his own unique style, but he's a great guy. And he has done all these camps since he came out of Auburn and turned pro. He's been doing these camps year after year, dedicating his time, dedicating money, trying to give back to the community. He does it all the time. And the last like 2 or 3 years, these kids, because Cam, you know, he's no longer the superstar athlete anymore. So it's like these kids want to make their name off of giving him a hard time. You suck. You're not good. Like the one guy, you're a free agent. You're nothing. You're nothing. Cam Newton is one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game. Heisman Trophy winner, one of the greatest rookie season of all time. League MVP, took a team to the Super Bowl. And these kids keep giving him a hard time the last few years about you're nothing, you're nothing, you're nothing. He has made hundreds of millions of dollars by being an unreal athlete. And these young kids keep challenging him and being disrespectful. And Cam is giving back to them. As a multi-million-dollar athlete worth hundreds of millions of dollars, he could just flip all these kids the bird and be like, listen, I don't need to help anybody.
Yeah.
I can lay on a bed $100 bills and go about my life. But no, he keeps trying to give back to these kids, but these kids are kind of looking at him as, you're not good. You're a scrub. You're a free agent. That's one of the kids was like, you're a free agent. You're nothing. You know, and they keep disrespecting him. And it's been the last 3 years, it's been all these people disrespecting Cam, who has just been a good guy who's been giving back. And Cam's a better man than I am. These kids started swinging on Cam and trying to sucker punch him. And Cam was just, first off,
he was just kind of standing there. Like he was trying to push them back a little bit, but he wasn't hitting anybody.
Yeah, he was more defensive. He's trying to sling them out the way here, sling them. Faith. Cam is 6'5", 6'6", 250 to 270 pounds, in shape. If Cam wanted to hurt them, he could have hurt them.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not 6'5", 6'6", 272. I'm letting it fly. I'm trying to be the good guy. But they start 2 or 3 guys trying to sucker punch me and all this. Oh no!
It's gonna be Tate.
Oh, flying elbows for everybody. You getting a 3-piece hot and spicy, and then some.
Yeah.
You know, the fact is, he still kept his cool. He didn't throw any punches. He just kept kind of slinging the kids out of the way, keeping them at distance. He still took the high road. Even when somebody sucker punched him, 2 different people sucker punched him, he still kept the high road. The one guy in the white shirt, there was another guy.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh no, you wouldn't have got old sweet Tate at that point.
It didn't seem like he was doing anything either. He was just kind of standing there, you know, talking to some people, and then someone out of nowhere just like runs up to him and pushes him. And it's like,
and it's a shame. The fact of the matter is, this guy does not have to dedicate his time. He doesn't have to give money. Cam gives a lot of money back to the community. You know, he's not just writing a check and just tossing it over there. And I would give the guy that just wrote a check and gave it away credit. But he's there with the kids, trying to help them, And year after year, incident after incident, these kids are being so disrespectful to him. Where if you look at it and you just say the fact that a former Heisman Trophy, NFL MVP, NFC Championship quarterback, who is a legend, one of the greatest to ever do it, maybe one of the 3 or 4 greatest athletes to ever play the game, is dedicating time with me, maybe I should be appreciative. Thank you, Mr. Newton. Thank you. You know, not you suck. You suck. Well, guess what? Every single athlete at some point in time will, as they call, suck. As you get older, as Cam gave a lot to, he used his body a lot. So injuries and things kind of slowed him down. So he's not the same level of guy. But these kids, most of these kids, there's a 99.8% chance that none of these kids will ever even see the NFL. Mm-hmm. That means make a practice squad, let alone get to the level that Cam Newton has gotten to. And the fact that he's trying to dedicate his time to helping these kids get better at their craft and maybe make it to the NFL or maybe get a college scholarship, and they want to clown him and want to attack him and things of that nature, that's a disgrace. That is an outright disgrace for one of the people that is truly giving back to the community.
Yeah.
There's not enough Cam Newtons out there in the world.
No, there's not. And it's definitely like, no pun intended, but it's like a punch in the face to Cam. Because he's doing all this hard work for all these kids, and it's like they're not appreciative of it. This guy should be a role model to these kids, and they're not treating it as such.
And this one hits a little closer to home because I know what it's like to go through and try to dedicate a lot of time to friends, family, community, and not be appreciated, or you give, but they're like, that's not enough.
Yeah.
And so see Cam year after year, he dedicates his time, he dedicates his money, and be consistently disrespected, I'd be out. I'd be like, you know what? We're scrapping these camps. I'm taking that money. I'm going to the Bahamas. This year's camp is going to be in the Bahamas for one, Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Because, and that would be a shame, because it's one of those situations where the few ruins it for the many. A lot of these kids probably appreciate the fact that Cam is doing this, but all you need is, a couple years ago, 1, this time 3 or 4. The year before that, it was like 2 kids before that. It's year after year. It's one of the greatest guys giving back, and he's just keep getting done wrong.
Maybe instead of like completely canceling it all as a whole, because obviously I'm sure there are kids who really enjoy the camps and, respect Cam and everything like that. Maybe he should do something of like, he does a camp once a year at this one place, and you'll send in like a video essay or something talking about why you want to go, and then he'll fly you out for the camp for the week and then fly you back. And
I don't know, I don't know how he picks. I don't know how he picks who gets to go to his camps and what events but the fact is, do you really have to jump through all those hoops and hurdles when all you're trying to do as an athlete is give back? There's so many athletes that's like, no,
you shouldn't have to do that.
I'm rich. I'm going to hang out with models and actresses, and the hell with the kids, Yeah. And Cam's out there trying. And, like I said, I know firsthand, when you're trying to help people, and no matter how hard you try, it's not enough. you give, but hey, you got more, or things like that. Just rubs you the wrong way sometimes.
Yeah,
So.
I can understand why that would be upsetting to a lot of people.
But
And
I do got I got to give Cam credit though. First off, he kept composure.
yeah.
He slung a few fools, a couple, you know. That one dude, he kind of tossed him aside. I mean,
Yeah.
imagine if Cam, like, you see how he was tossing these guys around. Imagine if he'd have went beast mode on them and just started
Yeah.
like we were talking about yesterday, Hulk smash, Cam smashes.
Yeah.
And maybe this is, I'm just joking here, but this is a joke. But maybe if Cam decided to take the hat off, put the braids back, and just started whooping fools' butts. Next year, everybody be at the camp. Yes, sir, Mr. Newton. Yes, sir, Mr. Newton. Want me to line up over here, Mr. Newton? Maybe he needed to break one off on him.
Maybe a little bit. But, they're children and he's a grown man. He can't do that.
Oh, no. Ooh. The ones that attacked him turned out to be, they were young adults, 18, 19-year-old guys. Wow. So he could have hit him.
He could have.
He could have laid hands on him. He could have baptized him a little bit without getting in any extra trouble.
Gosh.
But he still took the high road.
And that makes him a better person for that too. He took the high road. He didn't beat anybody up,
Yes.
So
he slung a fool, but other than that,
he didn't uppercut somebody like somebody did to him. I mean,
the one guy in the white shirt. Oh,
yeah.
that's when the hat needed to come off. And that's when Cam should have went with the Superman shirt, because that was his thing when he scores a touchdown. He pulls up the super. That's when he should have done it, and then just started wearing that dude out. I like Cam, so I'm glad he held himself under control. That's truly the mark of a great man, is the fact that the bigger, stronger, more athletic guy took the high road and did not lose his cool, because I don't think I would have been able to, after the first sucker punch and then the second sucker punch, especially that dude in the white shirt. Ooh, yeah. There'd have been I'd have had to drop an elbow. I'm just gonna say it. Yeah. At least one elbow gonna get dropped. All right.
Yeah, I've never been in a fight, but I feel like if somebody punched me in the face twice, I think I might start swinging as well. So
yes. It's gonna make you forget that you haven't been in a fight. You're gonna be in a fight that day. You hit me in a couple of sucker punches. Sweet, kind, proper talking Tate goes out the window. No, suckers need to know.
Oh gosh. Okay, guys. Well, with that, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna be talking about a husband who boarded a flight and departed without his wife because she insisted on getting Starbucks at the airport.
Mocha latte.
Oh gosh, we'll be back, guys.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were talking about Cam Cam Newton in a brawl at Atlanta versus 7 football game. And now we're going to be talking about a husband who boarded a flight and departed without his wife because she insisted on getting Starbucks at the airport. Listen, I love getting my coffee as much as the next person.
Your frappuccino or get on your Delta flight. That's the.
I love a good iced chai latte from Starbucks. That's my favorite thing that I get, and I get that everywhere I go. I love an iced chai latte, but with this, I wouldn't have gotten my latte.
Keep on. Testify.
Okay. So I'll give you guys some background on this. So in a Reddit post, the 47-year-old husband described the situation he was in while trying to go see his 21-year-old daughter who was in college. The husband had not seen his daughter for about 3 months. Usually they visit her a couple times a semester, but it's been difficult because they live on the West Coast while his daughter goes to school on the East Coast. The husband explained that he is a very type A person. He likes to have everything organized and he hates being late. Me too. However, his wife, his daughter's stepmother, is the complete opposite.
Stepmama.
She has what he describes as a go-with-the-flow attitude. Although he tries to work around her personality, he does not put up with it when it comes to traveling. He explained that last year there was an incident when they were going to fly out to see his daughter, but as soon as they got to the airport and went through security, it was too late. The gate to their flight had already closed. It took me attempting to wake her up 5 times before she eventually got up at 7:40 a.m., then wanted to make coffee, shower, and eat a bowl of cereal, he wrote. His daughter was very disappointed that they lost 2 days with her, so the husband was very determined not to disappoint her again. The tardy wife managed to make their first flight without a problem, but their connecting flight was another story. Once they got to their terminal, they had about 15 minutes before they boarded the plane for the last leg of their journey. The wife wanted a coffee, and luckily there was a little market right next to their terminal. The husband even offered to go grab it for her, but she insisted on going to Starbucks, which wasn't close to their gate. I told her we couldn't do that. We didn't have enough time, he wrote. However, she was determined and went without him. 15 minutes went by and the wife was nowhere to be found. As the flight was boarding, he called her 4 times to ask where she was. On the last call, she picked up the phone, stating that she was on her way to the terminal. She explained that the Starbucks line was so long that it took a while for her to order. The husband explained to the gate attendant that his wife was coming, but she warned him that that couldn't hold up the flight, so he boarded the plane without her and left his wife behind. A few minutes later, his wife called saying that they wouldn't let her through the gate because the plane had already left and that he needed to get off the plane so that he could be with her, but he refused. I said, I told you we didn't have time, but you decided to go anyway, he argued. I told her to go purchase a new ticket for the next flight and I would see her when she arrived.
Go with Faith. I want you to go with this because there's 2 segments in this one. So I want to hear keeping the faith. Keeping the faith.
Okay. Well, I'm on the husband's side.
Wait. Oh, okay. You didn't answer the first question. Is who's right, who's wrong? All right.
I'm on the husband's side for this. Managing a relationship with your daughter, and obviously, you're not single parent, but, it's a split household. So, dad's trying to do things for the daughter because that's important to him, but he's also married to someone else now. So it's hard to balance both of those relationships, but your kid should always come first. And so if you have planned to go visit your child and your wife wants to go with you to visit her as well, wife needs to buckle up and get on board and do what she's supposed to do in order to go visit your daughter. And, I'm sorry, suck it up, Buttercup. You wanted to go get Starbucks and you didn't make it on time for the flight. So, but dad's got to go. Dad promised his daughter he was going to go see her. So, and I'm
Anything.
also
I'm waiting. I'm letting Faith cook.
let me cook. I'm also a type A person. I'm very organized. I hate to be late. For these shows in the morning, I'm on Zoom at 6:30.
Faith kills it too. She does. I'm gonna keep it real with you. For all these people out there like, oh, I can do Faith's job. No, you can't. No, you can't.
I'm always on time, which is normally early is on time and on time is late. That's how I was raised, so that's my
hug
mentality.
You through the camera right now.
But of course, life happens, and there are situations where you're going to be late. With that, I let people know the minute I know I'm going to be late. Hey, I know we said we were going to meet at 6, but I don't think I can get there until 7 o'clock. That text message gets sent at like 3 or 4 p.m. when I find out that I'm going to be late. So I would have left her too.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to ruin my plans.
Okay. My first thing, when I first heard this, I took your approach. I agreed with everything you said and then more. I would have, matter of fact, I might have been waiting at the gate right till you got to the gate. I'd have closed the thing up on her, hit her with the deuces and then ran.
Deuces!
But I thought about this. First thing is, when they landed, he should have got on the phone and got a lawyer. Because they need to get a divorce. They don't need to be together. And here's the reason why. When you get to the point where you're like, the heck with that fool, I'm getting on the plane anyway. That's your own fault. And leave that person, you are at that point of no return. Yeah. So it's just a matter of time before divorce court comes down the pike on you. So just jump ahead of it, get divorced. That's the first thing. Yeah. Second thing is, this is a prime example. Sometimes it's like, you can be right and I can be right. Well, guess what? He can be wrong and she can be wrong. And two wrongs don't make a right. They don't need to be together. Here's the wrong. You knew how important it was for him to see his daughter.
Right. You
knew what his personality was. You knew that you were running late and your butt wanted to get Starbucks, but Starbucks was so important to you that you didn't care about what his needs are.
Yeah.
Okay, that's her wrong. I'm going to tell you his wrong. No matter what. It's like, as a matter of fact, not that long ago, similar situation almost went down with my wife and I. We were in Munich. I think it was in Germany. We were in Germany. And she went out to go get something like coffee or something like that. And she was taking her time. And she didn't hear that it was boarding our flight. So we're waiting and I'm waiting and I'm like, where the heck is she? And they're looking at me like, sir, are you getting on? And I'm like, man, wait, hold on, hang on. And there was no way, whether she left to go get Starbucks or whatever, am I going to leave my wife at an airport and just jump on a flight and just leave her by herself? That makes you wonder how strong that relationship is.
Yeah.
That's the reason why they both, even though she was maybe wrong to go do that, the fact that your mindset was, I'm getting on the plane, and then she calls and she's like, hey, I'm at the gate, but they won't let me in. And you're like, too damn bad. And she's like, well, are you going to get off the flight? No, sucker, I'm out.
Yeah.
That shows divorce court.
I think their actions, both of their actions, are a reflection of how they feel about one another in the relationship.
And here's something that people don't understand. You can be two good people but get a divorce.
Yeah.
And you can both be good people, but just don't line up. You're Mr. Regiment guy. Got to be on time, got to be this, got to be this, got to be this. And she's Miss laid back La Vida Loca lady. So that's two things doing this all the time. It doesn't mean that both of them are, that one has to be a bad guy, one has to be a bad girl. It just means they don't belong together. And when you start looking at this, didn't mean to go on to my marriage and dating advice saga here. But when you look at this and the fact that she's at the gate and he's like, first off, I'm getting on the plane. I can understand. He's like, okay, she'll catch up with me on the flight. But then when she calls and they says, they're not letting me on, and you're like, get you a ticket, fool. You know?
Yeah.
No, listen, I'm going to get up. I'm going to go to the thing and say, listen, my wife is right at the gate. Can you please let her on? Can you please let her on? And then if they're like, no, then it's like, I need to get off and go be with my wife because I need to make sure she's okay. And if that is not in your mind, hey, I may be PO'd like nobody's business, but I'm taking my butt off that flight.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I know a lot of people are going to be like, his daughter, he hasn't seen his daughter in 3 months. It's 3 months, people. It's not 3 years. It's you know what I mean? So yes, it's disappointing that she's holding you up, and you have the right to be pissed off.
Yeah.
But when you take that approach, you are already you made a left at the heck with her and a right at y'all don't need to be together anymore, Bill. They don't need to be together. This is that point where you're like, I'm sick of her. I'm sick of her crap, or I'm sick of his crap. They're not thinking about each other. Mm-hmm. Both of these moves were selfish moves. I want Starbucks. I'm going to be late. I know how important this is. That's selfish. That's absolutely selfish. I'm getting on this plane. I don't care. Get you another ticket. You're on your own. Mm-hmm. That's a couple that shouldn't be together. Yeah. Do you see my side of this one?
No, I definitely understand your perspective on that, and I do agree a little bit. Yes. But I'm still for him leaving her.
Now, I gotta admit, his pimp hand is strong. He just went with hey, I'm over here. I got my ticket. I'm sitting down comfortable. You know, the fact that he got the fact that he was on the plane and she called and you're like, you better go call Delta. You got the Visa card, don't you? Because
tough, sweet honey iced tea.
Yes. That is, I mean, I can't say it the way I really want to say it. Yeah. You know, I got some regulations that I got to follow.
Yeah.
But yeah, these two shouldn't be together. And the guy, she took too many liberties, and the guy is fed up with her taking liberties. Mm-hmm. They're done.
Yeah.
They're done. They may not even know it. For him, it's like, listen, I just wanted to get to my daughter, and I'm just going to see my daughter. She could get on the flight. Mm-hmm. But those are things you just can't come back from. I think about, now I won't go there, but yeah, I mean, it's just, there's certain things you can't come back from. Mm-hmm. There are certain things, there's certain signs, I bet you when they look back, they may be a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from divorce, but divorce is in their future.
All right, Dr. Phil.
Divorce is in their future. Do you see that? Do you see her? Okay. Do you see her changing her personality so that she can be
Clearly
more regimented
not.
like him? Absolutely
No,
not.
because she's already made them late for a flight before, and they missed that flight. So,
Right.
and if he's leaving her at the gate and getting on the plane,
He's fed up already. He's fed
not
up
gonna
with her.
change either. So,
Right. So they're at that point where they're, if you're at the point where you're going to leave someone in an airport, how would you feel? You and your boyfriend are on a trip and you're like going to get a Starbucks
and he
and
left me.
he
Oh,
left you.
I'd be fuming. I'd be fuming.
Right. And I'm not justifying her action, but the mindset of a guy to be like, to hell with her. I'm getting on the flight. She should have thought about there's consequences and repercussions for your
Your actions. Yep.
But you cannot. That's the person you're supposed to love and cherish and want to spend the rest of your life with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. My wife can make me upset. I'm not leaving her at an airport. No, there's something wrong with that divorce court. That's all I'm saying. Divorce court.
Oh gosh. Well, I feel like we need an update on their life now. See
Oh,
where
I
they're
can
at.
tell you. That's a 50-50 split. Right? She got the cat, he got the dog, she got the fine china, he gets to keep the car. But it's over. They just don't know it yet.
Oh gosh. All right, guys. Well, with that, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to dive into our oddities of the day. Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were discussing a husband who boarded a flight and departed without his wife because she insisted on getting Starbucks. And now we're going to dive into our oddities of the day. We've got... This was an interesting one. I was just taken aback by the headline.
Uh-oh. All right.
So...
I have no clue.
So a man was busted for stealing ammo and bacon from East Freedom Walmart.
That actually sounds like a cool band. Ammo and Bacon.
Ammo and bacon.
I didn't get that first album.
So a man was busted in East Freedom, Pennsylvania over the weekend for shoplifting more than $1,100 worth of items, including ammo and bacon from a Walmart.
That's called priorities. Ammo and bacon.
Yeah. John Lee Pittman Jr., 32, of Houstontown, is charged with theft, receiving stolen property, and possession of a firearm prohibited, according to a criminal complaint. Freedom Town police officers responded to a call from a Walmart Saturday afternoon after a man filling up a shopping cart and attempting to leave the store without paying. Officers found Pittman leaving the store pushing a cart filled with plethora of items, including bacon and other meats, as well as 5 boxes of Remington brand 12-gauge shotgun shells. In all,
Wait a minute. Okay, look, I apologize for cutting you off, Faith. So my man, he got a couple of packages of bacon, some Remington shotgun, 12 gauge shotgun shells, and I got a 50 spot with you, Faith. That there's at least a 6-pack of Pabst Blue Ribbon in there too. You know he got some Pabst Blue Ribbon up in there. He's about to set it off. I'm gonna let you know that right now. There's some Natty Light or something in there.
Oh, gosh, Michelob Ultra. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, there's no White Claw in there. That may be. There's a White Claw. That's for
too classy. That's too classy.
All right, go ahead. I apologize about the Pabst Blue Ribbon.
In all, Pittman was found with Pittman was found with nearly 140 stolen items valued at around $1,180, according to the criminal complaint. Pittman, who already had a warrant out of Fulton County for burglary charges, was unable to post his $10,000 bond and remains in custody at Blair County Prison.
I'm predicting my man has a trailer off the 195. Off the turn off of 195.
Like you said, this man had priorities, and he was going to make sure that he got his bacon and his 12 gauge shotgun shells.
I'm telling you, there's some Natty Light in there, or some Pabst Blue Ribbon. I'm telling you.
Bush.
You know, maybe he probably got something for his girl. He got some Zima for his girl. You probably don't even know what Zima is.
No, I don't.
Zima it's the new White Claw. I mean, it's the old White Claw.
Oh, okay.
Let's call it kind of like it's the ultimate, like, I hate to call it trailer park drink, but yeah, it was popular among certain people. Yeah. I'm telling you that. Shotgun, 12 gauge shotgun shells and bacon.
Yep.
You know what though? Despite all of that, I bet you he's fun as hell to hang out with. They probably in the backyard. They got a pig on the rotisserie.
Shooting stuff up in the air.
Yes, they're skeet shooting. They're skeet shooting. They got a pig on the rotisserie. They're barbecuing it up right now.
Is that what that's called? Skeet shooting?
Yeah, skeet shooting.
They might need to workshop that term.
Faith, what is wrong with you? This show is corrupting you, girl.
What do you mean? What's wrong with me? I wasn't born yesterday.
Oh my God. Faith, I can't take you no more.
I was not born yesterday.
Shooting.
Yeah, but...
So, okay. Wow, this is 2 days in a row you got me like this, Faith.
shooting a Colt 45 bottles in the backyard with, having a cookout.
I'm telling you, there's some good barbecue in that backyard.
That is true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They probably got a little fishing pond in the back. They were probably fishing and skeet shooting, barbecue. They needed that bacon for some of the other things they're cooking. I'm picturing these guys being.
He just wanted to have a nice. When was this? Saturday? Was this on a Saturday? He just wanted to have a nice Saturday.
They're probably. I don't mean no harm, but I'm picturing them kind of not in your neighborhood, but a neighborhood adjacent. You know how like Georgia. Wait, hear me out. Georgia is a very cool place. I like Georgia, but. You make a wrong turn down. You make a wrong turn down that dirt road off of 168. You can run into shotgun shells and bacon man. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. But I live in a nice neighborhood.
Oh, no. I know this. I'm just saying, if you make a wrong turn off of that 135, that dirt road down there, take you down to the creek. There's somebody got some bacon and shotgun shells over there.
Yeah.
Just because, I told you, as a kid, I used to spend the summers in that Georgia, Alabama area.
Mm-hmm.
I know what it's like. But then that's the thing. Georgia has the best and worst of everything. Georgia is beautiful and not so beautiful.
I've seen it all. Honestly.
So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So there's a lot, there's off those dirt roads, there's a lot of Pabst Blue Ribbon being drank.
No, it's more like Miller High Life. I see a lot of Miller High Life.
Now see, the Miller High, that's another level up. That's one level.
It's a different category.
Yes, that's a different category right there. But yeah, my man, I bet you, and you said he had a record too?
Yes.
He's fun to hang out with.
He already had a warrant out for burglary charges.
He is fun to hang out with. I bet you every Thursday there's some Michelob Ultra, some bacon. And they have
just the Michelob Ultra like wrapped in bacon, not even like
there won't be no kale, no asparagus.
No green juice.
Yeah, there's no kale or asparagus at that barbecue at all. What do you have to say? Do you agree with me on this one? I know, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm making fun. I'm making light. We're
allowed to make fun. We're allowed to make fun.
Here.
We're allowed to make fun because we lived in those environments. So
for all you Pabst Blue Ribbon drinkers and everything, I apologize for hurting y'all's feelings, but y'all know y'all like bacon. Everybody likes bacon, though. For the record.
Listen, I grew up in southern Georgia, so southern that it's almost Florida, southern Georgia. So
so you're way down there.
I was that's my hometown was way down south in Georgia.
When you start getting close to that Florida area, some parts of that.
You get the best of both worlds.
Yes, you do. Yep. You notice that's
yeah.
That's the Georgia man. Mama's that Georgia peach that married Florida man.
Yep.
And that's all
literally
wrong.
My mom's from Florida and my dad is from Georgia. My mom's from Orlando though, so she's not she's not Florida man.
And Florida's great. It's just that's the thing about the South. The South, I love the South, and I hate the South all at the same time because some parts of the South is just the nicest people you will ever meet anywhere. You treat you great. But then you can make a wrong turn down a dirt road and it is on.
It's on, yeah. Yep.
Especially, let's just say, my peeps over here. It's a little interesting down there. And he has to live down a dirt road. The fact that he got a record,
single wide trailer.
He's stealing all the good stuff. I just find it funny, the people that wrote this article. I feel like they put a code out there because it could have been it would be a different article if it was like he had some Glade plugins and some Little Debbies in it. They said bacon and shotgun shells. That's a whole different conversation, is it not?
Yes, it is.
It is
now.
Definitely.
No, you would find me arrested for stealing some Glade plugins. I love those Glade plugins.
Yes. See, it just tells you it tells you everything you need to know about that shoplifter, right?
Yeah.
If they got, let's say, some Little Debbie's and some Glade plugins, you know, she's not trying to call. She's a little low. She's a little down on her luck right now, but you know, she's still trying to keep everything under control. When you get shotgun shells and bacon, that dude's a fun dude.
Dude's a fun dude.
He's 2 months behind on the F-150 payment. you know he got an F-150. You know
an older one though, not a brand new one, an older one.
Yeah, he ain't driving no Tesla. I'm gonna let y'all know this right now.
It's probably an older white F-150 and it's got big tires on it.
You know. It's Earl Ray,
and it's only front seater. There's no back seat.
Earl Ray is doing his thing. Yep. I ain't mad at him. If you know, you got some bacon, some shotgun shells. He's doing it up. Depending on how Earl Ray is. If he's cool with my people, I'll go hang out with him at least for an afternoon.
We'll see.
All right,
guys. Well, with that, we're going to close out the show. Thank you for tuning in to the Andrew Tate Show presented by GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. Thank you once again. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace out, Becky.
Bye, guys.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn ain't